Alright, so now I'm going to begin painting the dark blue parts. I'm going to be using Titans Blue 2 from Mr. Color. This is the ones from the Titans color line, which I really like. It comes out, it looks really nice once it's painted. I'm going to begin painting some smaller parts here, so you guys can see this. I'm going to do light passes first. I'm not going to go overkill with this, but just enough to cover, give it a good coverage, and then I'll do an overall pass later on. Work on this big boy first. I'm also increasing the PSIs on this like to 30, but I'm going very light on this. I'm not going to oversaturate it. I'm just going to give it control bursts, and then light passes first before I give it a overall pass. This part has to be masked off because there's a section here that's a different color tone. It's alright. It's a nice shade of like a dark navy blue. I love this. Let's do the big boy right here, the chest armor. I'm going to pass a little air first to remove whatever particles that stuck in there before we begin. I had 2 bottles of this, and one of them was already empty. The other one was basically almost halfway done. I'm going to have to end up going to Gundam Planet and get another bottle. Now you're seeing me doing this procedure here, like what I normally do with pre-shading. I'm not pre-shading this. At first I thought of pre-shading, but since I did not pre-shade the white parts, I'm not going to do that as well. Right now I'm just going to give it the overall pass, and then I'm going to do the overall, the standard pass over again. The inside of this, I'll paint this another color. Maybe I'll do the charcoal or the dark gray. I don't know yet. I would like to do highlights on this, but no, I'm not going to do that. Now, this is something that I spent some time masking off all the inside of the color here, because I painted one color, which is gray, the light gray actually. So now the edges is going to be the dark blue because it has to match the part of the arm. Do light passes here first. And then the other part here. This should be easy. I don't know how far this goes, and I'll cover it just in case. There we go. The inside of this has to be the other color. Don't know if I'm going to mask it or hand paint it. I haven't thought of that yet. This one's going to be a pain. I don't think of a pain, but it is a big part. But let me just clean it up a bit with some air. The one thing I did not do is paint the inside a different color, which I'm going to have to do maybe later on, once I finish the painting of this color. Alright, so I was starting to paint more parts, and I was working on the gray parts, and I finished up a whole slew of gray parts here, which I'm about to show you. It's all here. Some parts I had to mask off because they needed to be grayed, like this part of the leg, which I'm going to remove the masking tape to see how well it came out. There we go. So that's how it's supposed to look. There was another part here that's also grayed up like this, which is supposed to go here to cover up the hole. So they both match. Sorry, I thought I was pointing in the right direction. So these are done. But now I'm also beginning to mask off other parts that needs to be worked on as well. Now, before I show that off, this one came out okay, but I think I'm going to have to cut this up a bit more to get more of the spacing in there. Then I'm contemplating on whether either A, I'm going to hand paint it, or B, airbrush it. And if I'm going to airbrush it, that means I got to mask off all this up to there, and then just spray paint the inside. It's already pre-masked for this part. I just need to cover this one up so I don't lose the the color that I just put on this. So it's annoying. Not as annoying as all the other parts that I masked off. Let me show you. I haven't masked off this entire section here because this is all different color based off the manual. I masked off this one last night, and I was able to paint the tone of the gray around it, which came out nice. That's pretty good. It actually came out far better than I realized, so that's good right there. But then I have the other parts that I was in the middle of masking. Let me show you. So this one, I masked off the edges here, and I think this one came out wrong, so I'm gonna have to do it again. Yeah, I gotta cover that up because I gotta paint this whole section from here in the back white, because that's the only thing that's exposed from the model kit. So I don't mind if this is painted white because it's going to be covered up by the armored calf that's here. So this part needs to be painted white. And of course the little micro missiles in my missile buffet here that I have set up. I also masked off this entire section here so I can paint the inside the charcoal color. And if I do it nice and precise, I can get I can get all of it without worrying about painting this. But I've always have a habit of doing that, and I always screw it up, so I'm going to get more masking tape and covering it up just in case. This part is the front crotch part, and this part is black in the inside. I'm going to see if I can try to do it without painting, airbrushing it, maybe hand painting it. But I decided to cover these sections up because they're a different, even though they're almost the same color, I decided to paint it gray to keep it in line with other parts that are gray. For example, let me get it here. Since this is around the same area of the front skirt armor, this side skirt armor has two of these little notches here. That's going to be painted the gray color as well. So that's something I'm going to work on. This part here is another part that also only the entire circle part is a different color. So I'm going to try to keep it the same gray. The half circle here, I may do gunmetal on that. Not 100% certain yet. Let me see what I can do with that. This was a pain in the ass to work with, and if for those of you who work with masking tapes, this was a pain in the ass. because it's hard to, I mean, it's easy to put masking tape when it's in a triangular or square shape type structure, even triangles. But circular is kind of difficult, and it's kind of hard to do it, especially with a hobby knife. I had a stencil of circles, which I went through all my stuff and I can't find. Again, stuff that I must have lost during the move, which pisses me off right now. So what I did was, using the hobby knife, I carefully cut on the cutting board, on the masking tape, like these little quarter circles or half circles, and then I just applied one after another. I caked them on each and every one so they look like this. This is leftover masking tape from the other paintings, and hopefully this will come out right. Hopefully. This forearm part, which is going to be painted white, is the part that, not the forearm, excuse me, the bypass, the bicep armor, bicep arm. This whole section will be painted white. So that's another one here that's different color. I did this one too. I'll do gray here, but these will be gunmetal. And this one here, this section here of this will be gunmetal as well. Some parts that I'm going to paint on, which will be gunmetal altogether, will be the foot, the thrusters, the hands, the other thruster that goes on the back part of the thruster pack. So yeah, this took a lot of time for me to work with. I'm not done yet because I still got to do this one and this one here. The back skirt, I didn't see any detail that requires that, but you know what? Look at that. There's all this little holes here. I'm going to mask off the whole thing so I can paint everything inside. That should be fun. So, let me continue on with the masking tape, and let's start painting the remaining color parts. Oh, one last thing which I haven't even started, and that's the one that's going to annoy me. It's this one, the head, because I know that's red, I know that's black, I know something else is I'm missing here. So, see? A lot of work and a lot of masking. Alright, so I'm going to be using Mr. Color, Gundam Color Metallic on some of these parts that I've pre-set for painting. This one first. Give it the added detail that this kit needs. Ooh. Pretty bad. I'll have to review that later on. I needed that for that, but I'll take care of it in a minute. So this. Give the foot a nice little shine. Time to work on the hand. Now I've masked this whole section off for this. Oh, I ran out. Gee. Did not know that. I'm going to refill the reservoir again, and I'm actually... Hold on a second. I had the camera on top of the holder from my airbrush, and I couldn't mix the paint right from here, so gotta remember not to do that next time in the future. That looks good. Alright, let me continue on with the remaining parts. And actually the last part I have to paint would be the white parts for the missiles and some parts for this, which I'll show off afterwards. And I gotta work on the head of the Valkyrie, so that's gonna take me a lot of time because I have to paint like several layers of well, the black I believe I have to paint, and the yellow. But I remember seeing the decal sheet that it comes with the yellow strip that you can go right over it. So let me see what I can do with that. That's going to be painted to do all that, but we'll figure this out in the next video. Okay, so let me finish up and we'll show off the final results.